Let's talk about a harsh but really, really important reality in the business world. Why is it that so many entrepreneurs get stuck, while just a tiny few manage to build something that truly scales? Well, it all comes down to something called the 3% rule. And honestly, understanding this could be the thing that saves your business.
3%. That's it. Think about that number for a second. According to our source material, that's the shockingly small number of entrepreneurs who actually make it big. It's a pretty scary statistic, but it paints a super clear picture of what we're all up against.
So, okay, what about everybody else? The other 97%? Well, they hit a wall. They get totally overwhelmed, they burn out, or the business just stops growing. And the craziest part? It's usually not because they aren't working hard enough. It's because they have a fundamental misunderstanding of what their job is supposed to be. So, this is the million-dollar question, right? What's the secret sauce? What is it that this tiny 3% group knows that everyone else seems to be missing? That is exactly what we are going to unpack right now. The answer really starts with a diagnosis, and it all boils down to the mindset you bring to your company every single day. The question you have to ask is, are you a CEO or are you basically just a freelancer with a business name? Because the difference, as you're about to see, is absolutely everything. So on one side, you have the freelancer mindset. Sound familiar? You're doing all the work, wearing all the hats. You're the marketer, the salesperson, the admin, the person delivering the service. You're just focused on getting through the day. And you become the bottleneck. But the CEO mindset, that's about building the system that runs the business, hiring people for key roles, and staying focused on the big picture to get real leverage. And this leads to a pretty tough question you have to ask yourself. How in the world are you going to scale when you're the one doing everything, when you literally don't have a spare minute in your day? The simple answer is you can't. Your business can't possibly grow beyond your own personal limits. There's a perfect phrase for this feeling of being trapped by the very thing you created: business purgatory. It's not like you're failing, but you're not really growing either. You're just stuck. So the big question is, how do you escape? All right, the escape plan. It all starts with a huge shift in where you put your energy. You have to move from just doing short-term tasks to thinking about a long-term guiding strategy. It's about finally stopping working in the business and starting to work on the business. So, what do we even mean by strategy? It's not some super complicated thing. Just think of it like this: it's your destination on a map and the main roads you're going to take to get there. It answers the big questions like, who are we? What do we do better than anyone else? It's the high-level thinking that guides everything else. And what are tactics? Well, these are all the individual actions: running the ads, sending the emails, posting on social media. They're super important, but if you don't have a strategy, they're just random shots in the dark. And this is exactly what leads to shiny object syndrome, where you're just chasing every new trend without any real plan. A perfect example of this is when Steve Jobs came back to Apple. He didn't just start doing stuff. First, he diagnosed the big strategic problems. Their product line was a total mess, and they had no real competitive edge. So what was his game plan? Cut way back on products and just wait. Wait for the next big thing. And 2 years later, that strategy gave us the iPod. That's what a clear vision can do. Okay, so you have your strategy, your blueprint. Now it's time for part 2 of the escape plan, actually building the machine that's going to make it all happen. And here's a spoiler alert: that machine is not you working 80 hours a week. There's this phrase that sounds a bit backward at first, but it perfectly explains this next step. You have to relinquish control to take control. To get real control over your business's future, you first have to let go of the day-to-day tasks. I know that's a terrifying thought for most founders, but it is absolutely non-negotiable. And this is why. As long as you are the one who has to do everything or approve everything, you are the single biggest thing holding your company back. There's only one of you. Every decision and every task that has to run through you just creates this massive bottleneck that's choking the life out of your business. So, how do you delegate the right way? It's not just about dumping tasks on people. There's a clear path. First, you have to document how you do things. Create some simple standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Then, define the actual roles and what success looks like for them. Step 3, hire people who are way better than you at those things. And finally, and this is so important, Delegate authority, not just tasks. Let your team make their own decisions. When you do this, the payoff is just huge. As a one-person show, your output has a hard ceiling. But when you invest in a team, you leverage your own time and you literally multiply your potential. You free yourself up to work on the big picture stuff that really grows the company. So when you combine that clear strategy with a team that you've empowered to go and execute it, your own role completely transforms. You stop being the chief doer of everything and you finally start being the actual CEO. But what does a CEO actually do all day? A real CEO's job boils down to just 4 core things. Number 1, set the vision and the strategy. 2, build and lead the right team to make it happen. 3, manage the money. And your only job here is brutally simple. Don't run out of cash. And 4, keep investing in your own growth and learning. That's it. This is your new job description. And let's not forget the why behind this whole thing. You didn't start a business just to create a job you hate, right? Your business is a tool. It's supposed to serve your vision and give you the freedom you were looking for in the first place, not the other way around. So we'll end with the one question that really sums all of this up. After everything we've just covered, you need to ask yourself honestly, are you spending your days working in your business, or are you ready to start working on it? Because your answer will determine if you stay stuck with the 97% or if you finally break through and join the 3%.